And we'll check in with the rest of the party now. As Astani and Diodora, Rory has disappeared to have a conversation with Benji, as the two of you now find yourselves back within the familiar confines of your kind of rented space. Sparky is not back yet, but you can still feel the tether. He's there. He's still just doing his Scooby-Doo sneaking through the shadows at the moment. But what are you two doing at this time?
I think if we're not immediately going to go rest, the first thing Asani is doing is to just look at how Theodora is doing at this moment. They went from... After they had talked with Tyneal, how do they look? Especially in the chat about Indigo. Did they tell us about this?
I don't think she would have said anything about that. Mostly because it's been made very clear that there are people watching, listening, etc. And also she still is trying to, like, I think at the time, trying to parse out, like, what she would need to do in order to find the answer inside herself. But I think she looks like... It's a mixture of, distress, obviously, like, just worried about her people, her brother. Sadness, because she still hasn't had a chance to process what happened in the mausoleum. A look of resolution. And still that anger. That seems to encompass everything right now.
Then I think in this, Osani's that they're trying to insight all of this, and they're not going to leave the table. They're just going to either get something small to snack on, small questions. They're probably asking, like, so we brought Liza in apparently about a couple of years later. I was against it, but of course she couldn't be dissuaded. And then just telling her about what has happened before they had to run through and come to us. And then doing that while, if there's like small foods or things, like doing that while munching on like little appetizers. And every few seconds there's just like a look of, all right, and then keep going just to see the okay, we're good. Then just, I think, ending that story with, what could be creating those creatures? What could be bringing them forth? Or the hunger I saw for souls, for life. You have been dealing with this for so long, from what I could understand through context. This cult, this group, this belief in something. And belief in the nothing. It feels like belief in just nothing. It just, the emptiness of it all.
Yeah, I still, as much as I've been dealing with it, I still don't quite understand the purpose. If it's somebody who wants to take over the world, then getting rid of most of the people is not that great of a deal. Maybe they don't want to take over. Maybe they just want everything to be extinguished.
I know some people want to reform the world into their own image. But to have an image and a belief that is that to not see even one blade of grass as valuable or good. To not even look upon a landscape and see one glimmer of hope is just... Who could join something like that? What could bring a person to such depths that they cannot look to the very the being ability that we all have to see a little bit of hope in another, even if it is for the worser traits?
I think as Astani is talking, I think back to the attunement process of my armor and the memories that I saw in the story that was being told. And just this Belsarian's name keep coming up over and over again. And just like that one of those first images where it talked about how he had been accepted, but always still felt like he didn't belong. And I think when you feel lonely and rejected, maybe that causes you to lash out at everyone else. I don't sympathize with this person, but maybe it's born from that.
Yeah, I could see that. The sisterhood, the fellow watchers and keepers. We have ranks and hierarchy, but there is a bond that circulates around the feeling of family without any blood. Yeah. The worry I have for Lysa, without it, we are just two random people who have met at a fire that I happened to be lucky enough to pull her out of.
It's strange,
for
though.
You and your brother, I believe, too.
Yeah. Growing up in a community that's always looking after one another and making sure that everyone has what they need, which is the strange part. When I was frozen, I guess, at Ares' place, I had a lot of visions about previous people who had worn the armor previously. And
you did?
Yes. Their memories are with me now. They are with me now. But the person who is responsible for this, or at least partially responsible for this, he showed up in many of those memories. And he had been taken in by the Shiftweave people. So I don't understand why even then he didn't feel like he belonged, because when we bring you in, you always belong. I don't understand. Feeling separate in a community that welcomes you in my opinion, is a choice.
We all are a sum of our past experiences. So,
yeah,
when a warm embrace is in front of you, you might remember the ones who have scorned you, even with a smile. I could think of 1,000 moments as a child that I see friends, but believe them to be holding something behind their back. I don't know those, though, that take those moments in a community that embraces them and then turn against them. They either find their own space outside of it or isolate themselves. I don't know. But
I think you're right that we are all the sum of our experiences, but it is how we process and use those lessons that ultimately matters. And if you're just going to hold on to something so negative and not try to learn and be better, then what is the point?
I agree. There are many lessons I've learned, and the lessons never stop coming, no matter how many years have passed or birthdays I celebrate. But there are very few people I have met who take those experiences as lessons. They just use that as credit or evidence. It takes a more humble mind and big heart, patience and forgiveness for yourself as well as others, to fully just sit down with yourself and reflect. But I agree. I believe it can be a choice. But if no matter how many, if the community is there for you and they're trying so hard for you, I think it is the choice to not listen. And choice to close the door, not only on them, but on yourselves. Just to try something new that hasn't worked. Maybe your past experiences might be different. But in that, I agree. I do pity them. I just... for those who are joining this cause, this horrible group and belief, I just don't see it. What do they attain from being between those embracing arms? Do they celebrate the end of all things? Do they joke about the final end? I don't know. I'm trying to make fun of something that gives me no joy, and I have empathy, so I don't see it. And they're taking tea and they're like swirling it, and probably dunking a couple things as they're eating, contemplating all of this, still looking every few seconds. Their passive insight is 18, so they're just like trying to be like, how is my friend doing? And hopefully this like talking is like trying to like see their facial like expressions. Even as they're sipping tea, they're just looking up like, I'm not gonna bring it up if you're not gonna bring it up.
I'm gonna see if I pick up on this to be like the intention behind like the glances, because I think Theodora does probably see the glances, because she has a pretty good passive perception, I think. Yeah, she has a 17 passive perception. So, but her understanding, insight, that's a 17. I guess maybe she kind of gets it. You can just ask.
Well, now that I have the permission, how are you doing?
I'm worried and I'm angry, and everything is happening all at the same time, and I don't know how to process it all before I have to jump to, or we have to do the next thing. There's just no time, and for once I wish there was.
They like deep breath. Asani starts like putting a plate together of some food. I still have still healing from the last time that I was almost close enough to go farther than anyone could reach me. Still haven't had a moment to think about that. There is just this pin, and I understand that feeling. We don't have the time to, honestly. But if you would like to spend a couple of minutes, I'll hold your hand, you can hold mine, and we can commune with the lady to give you peace off of one of those many things.
I do take I take Astani's hand and say, yeah, I've only interacted with the lady once or twice, but she is nice.
We all return in some way. But however you do, for whatever you need, like the currents and the waves, you return to the ocean nonetheless. So, here. And they're going to... It's a form of commune, but I think it's like of questions, instead of questions, like helping Theodora process a couple of things that they would like to ask questions to. So yes, they could ask questions to I know the commune is to will we do this, trying to figure out information in the future, but in a way of how tarot, some people use it to figure out the future, but it's actually supposed to self-reflect and help process things. That's what Ostani is trying to use commune for. So if they have a question for where is Indigo, where it can, Ostani's expecting hopefully asking how could they get this answer but also process this emotion or grief or heaviness better, what they could do. Yeah, I'm so complicated, but that's how I'm seeing it, as I apologize. Okay. Oh, I was thinking of this before, but Ostani is going to offer something because they are, of course, always working with the lady, something to start this conversation, and it would be these little bells that you would put onto anklets or bracelets, and she probably has one or many on her person, pretty much as a ring, a phone call. But does Theodora also wear anything, jewelry, bracelets, anything on her?
Yeah, actually she has a bracelet that has Indigo, her hair from Indigo, from Rogier and herself braided into it, and they all had one. Oh, and I have the was it a locket? I thought it was just a big stone. Right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't remember it being a locket. I thought it was something else.
I think
I have those
because they're
things.
holding hands, they'll feel for that bracelet, and I don't know, it's been hours, the calluses that are probably, from wielding their weaponry, they're imbuing it with, not giving, but imbuing the commune with remnants of who Theodora is, who they're aligned with, and the experiences of the braided bracelet, the weight of the fight on their hands, how their skin feels in Ostani's. They're just putting that into there, as well as the little bells that Ostani will literally pry off and put into the center.
Not me realizing I was muted on OBS. Anyways, so yes, I just realized that now. I was asking those questions and no one could hear me. So I had asked, just so our audience is caught up, what you were bringing into Anchor, and the first of the questions you are asking in regards to brother, correct?
I actually would look to Theodora.
Okay,
Like, what would you
Theodora,
like to-
what would you like to ask?
I think my first question would be, are Demelza and Rogier, will they be okay? Like, she knows her brother escaped and she is worried about him, but she just can't help but continue to feel guilty over her friends.
The bells in the very center give a dulled ring. I would say
What'd that
based
mean?
upon your prior experiences, when a bell doesn't ring clearly, it's broken. Usually something wrong. But the bell doesn't break. So we'll leave that up to your interpretation of what that eventually could mean. But at least for now, it's not giving a very favorable answer, we'll say.
And I knew that, but it was just like needing, I guess, divine confirmation of it. You know, she knows
Yeah.
what happens to these souls.
You just feel like a tight squeeze from Osani to kind of ground you again. You knew this. We've felt this. There's danger.
Yeah.
But you are the one that charges into danger. Even if... And they're just trying to take all these readings into like grounding advice and help them process. I think when we are afraid and we cannot, it is rooted in uncertainty, and this is uncertainty, but we are certain that you are one who will charge in and figure out a way close enough to as much as possible, and that we can know. So trust in yourself that we can get some rest, at least for this moment, and get more answers the closer and closer we get. The closer and closer we can get to them. You are incredible, Theodore. I'm sure that you can do something.
I never really understood the spirit stuff. That's more Blackstone's area of expertise, but I can fight. That's what I can do.
Yes, you can. I've seen it.
How many questions do I get?
It says up to 3.
Okay. I think about it for a moment, just sort of take in what Astani's saying, what the bell hinted at, I guess. And then ask, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Are my people safe?
You feel a wind moving through, not the room, just the space that you are holding in this moment. And the shadows around the bells elongating, growing. There is, after a moment, the bells ring 3 times. Clear, not dulled.
I think you see a smile cross my face for maybe the first time in days. It's shaky.
Same with
but it's there.
Astani.
Like relief.
That is strong.
I think as much as there's part of her that wants to ask specifically about Indigo, she's going to take that as being like he's okay too. Because, yeah. And instead, I think she asks, will we be able to help the people of this city?
You see in this moment, as the shadows kind of go back to normal, as it kind of like resets with this new question, a coldness settles in. The shadows growing and then fading, growing and then fading. And the bells ring 3 times. 1 clear. The second dulled. And then clear again.
So probably some casualties. But
Expected.
yeah, that's not surprising. As long as we can help, that's all I've ever wanted to do.
The way you told, what was that?
Ferrero.
Yes, was that the one who kept talking?
Yeah.
You are helping, Theodora. You're helping for each and every day and for each moment that you present yourself in front of the situation and call your principles and your beliefs out loudly and push others to do so, like the clerics who are so worried they weren't helping. I think the things that I am certain of is that we will help. How much we will help, I am worried for as well.
I think we will just do what we can and hope that there are others out here who will do the same. Theodore, like, kind of like, I guess, 5 of us? There's Tyneal and Sparky. There's only a few of us, but sometimes that's all you need, I think. But also, we shouldn't push ourselves to do more than we're able to, because then we wouldn't be of any help to anyone.
Well, speaking on that, Sparky is good at supporting you.
Yes.
In battle. But
Yes.
Sakali does something special. Like, they pull Sakali from like their bag and they're like letting them do a stretch. They give a weight on my chest when I'm feeling stressed. I joke that it is because it is the best napping spot for them, but it always seems like they want to nap on my chest when I am dealing with a lot. You do not need to process everything. You have some answers that you already knew, but you know the direction you want to move forward on. That is certain. Hold that certainty. That will remove the fear. Even if it's certainty that we will fail, it is still certainty that will remove the fear and put bravery in its place. Hold Sakali and rest.
I think as I take Sakali, and Astani mentions that even if it's certainty that they will fail, there's like a sharp look comes across my face, like determination. It's like, now that is one thing I'm certain we won't do.
All right, then. Then I have no reason to be afraid.
Yeah. And I like hold Sakali, and I remember when Sparky was little, he also used to sleep on my chest.
Yep. Not too long ago,
huge
either.
Yeah, like it was like 3 weeks ago, and now suddenly he's this gigantic, he's fucking Clifford.
It's a
the big red
Rottweiler
dog.
Clifford.
Yeah, his goddamn Great Dane, just fucking huge out of nowhere. But no, I think I take Sakali, and then I will give Astani a hug.
They say some like final words, like thank you to the lady. May she watch over you. Just like final moments. Very like typical routine, traditional, like practice to close the commune. But as soon as that hug comes in, they hold you tighter. I don't know when Rory is returning, but I will go up as well and sleep.
I think I'm gonna wait for Sparky.
You take care of her, and looks at Sakali just like, I won't get up to go.
No,
Thank you.
And we'll say probably at that moment, that's when Rory finds his way back up to the room.
Hopefully I'm not interrupting anything. My apologies for keeping you.
It's okay. Nothing to apologize for.
What an interesting day.
That's one way to put it.
Well, I suppose we have a lot of things to do, but if it can be believed, I feel encouragement.
That's good.
How are you two?
I'm exhausted.
I feel a little better. And I'm holding Sakali, not tightly, but just like this is my baby, right?
And I think you feel
And then,
Sakali licking you every now and then before just snoring.
And also
feel
just
like
I
I've
hope
seen-
Sparky it doesn't get upset by this.
I've seen enough people interacting with animals to know when an animal is just like, I am comforting a person at this point. So it's kind of like, I see. I have some very interesting information, and well, some of it is good news. Some of it is
Gonna
interesting
piss me
news.
off.
No, just interesting. And then some of it will probably piss you off. But more importantly, we do get to rob nobles.
Oh, just rob them? I mean, sorry. No, I'm not sorry. But...
I will say, I'm starting to learn more about Blackstone's past life that was a little bit more spy-like. So, what I will say is that all we will do? No. But it was the thing I was asked to do. I was also informed that, well, you do know how accidents happen when you try to do the most simple of things, so...
Yeah, I think as soon as Theodora said that's all we get to do, there's immediately part of her that feels bad for suggesting because she's like, not all of them can't be bad, right? In her head, she's like, no, but it's just she has Vero or Ferrero, whatever fuck his name is. Ferrero Rocher, but he shouldn't be. But Ferrero Rocher is delicious, and he does not get to. I've been thinking that the whole time, by the way. Just saying.
Just the way that we said that at the exact same time. Someone needs to clip that because that was the thing that we both said.
But it's just he can't be. I can't be making fun of his name and giving him a more delicious name. I just. But wants to get rid of him. Just wants all these people who have a hand and aren't doing anything to help people. Like, Tyneel's a noble, but he actually helps.
We should
Robbing.
rest.
Yes.
We will be robbing them. I also have some additional information for you, but that can wait until morning. For tonight, we can rest in relative safety, but we do have a lot of information to discuss before, and I do emphasize before, we leave this place tomorrow.
Okay. I plan on waiting for Sparky before I go to sleep.
Well, considering that I don't actually sleep properly, I'm fine to also wait for Sparky. Ostani, you should know that a keeper is looking for you.
What?
A keeper
Wait.
by the name of now I'm not sure that they got the name right, to be honest. However, a person by the name of Rinaldi.
They absolutely did not get the name right. They just made up.
They
just
did
made
not.
up a
You
fucking
know
name.
that already.
Like, they might as
Astani.
well have called them Ricky Ricardo.
Exactly. That is not
like...
their name. There is one keeper, though, that you know. There is only one keeper.
Yeah, that's the like eyes going back and forth. Like, no.
Unless
to be
someone's
fair-
been usurping in the last day and a half since you've been
Exactly.
away.
Yeah.
For-
They're just like.
I will say for a truth, they're better with faces than names. But a keeper did come looking for you all the same.
All right, then I guess no sleep until I talk to them.
I
No.
would say you should
Sleep.
also do that in the morning.
Yeah. I think... Wait. They came looking for Sunny here? Or just around?
They happened here specifically. In
How did they
fact,
know us?
A
No, I
number
don't.
of
The
people-
DM's making a face. DM's
Oh.
making a face.
Benji had
a couple.
mentioned that words had been expressed outside in the temple district
Okay.
of wondering where
Okay.
they were.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I was like,
I thought
she
we were
did
supposed
not
to, like,
come down here. She's got
I'm
so
like,
much
people
to
should
do.
not. Besides those freaks who
Oh.
are following us, people
I
should
was
not
going to
know
say,
we're here.
well, I mean, I was about to say, like, people been looking for everybody in the party up here at this
True,
point, so.
but she has no idea where
But not just not
Astani
this
even
person.
is. Yeah, she has no idea where Astani.
Okay,
Last thing
so-
she knows is Astani was sent off to the Ascidian Gate, and now the Ascidian Gate has been destroyed. So
Okay,
yeah.
so retcon time.
And that was like 3 days ago
Yeah.
when the Sunny got
Lord.
cleansed. So.
Like, the keeper, apparently word in the temple district and among the keeper is that they're looking for you. I'm assuming possibly for some kind of report or something like this, but honestly, I do not know why they are looking or what the rumor was, just that they are. On the note of are people looking for us specifically, well, in a word, yes, and that is what we will be talking about tomorrow morning after some sleep.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising. We already, what's his face already, not even subtly suggested, but just downright hit the horse over on top of the head that we were being spied on. That people, there was a network, people watching out for us.
Well, I suppose we have a network of people who are on the lookout for us. And as I have learned today, we do in fact have a network of people who are watching out for us, and we all have Blackstone among a couple of other people to thank for it.
Thank you, Blackstone. I assume Blackstone can hear me somehow.
there is, so all of like the lights and colors on Rory are indigo, right? There is a flash of cobalt blue in his eyes. There's recognition there when you speak to Blackstone.
I think there's like that sigh of relief. That's what Theodora, that's her reaction. Just, it's been like weeks now, and like she likes Rory, but it's like I haven't heard from Blackstone. He's just been in there like doing I don't know what, some shit, like some science shit that I don't understand.
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right, Astani, are you heading to bed?
Yes.
Okay.
They were like literally in the middle of like, oh, I have to go answer. Oh no, Rory is right. Sleep.
Yeah, we're like
Sleep.
Rory and Theodora turning Astani's like around, like go to bed.
Okay.
Hold on for a moment.
There's only one.
So, well, I guess there's a good thing that there's only one, because that means you'll know exactly who you need to talk to tomorrow morning.
All right. And Theodora and Blackstone, you stay up for a bit. Take some time. But after a few minutes, probably shortly after, I don't know, does Astani snore?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, I
You
think
can
it's
kinda
just. I
Tell-
think like with all the bells that they wear, the little ones with when they're breathing, there could just be a little like
Ching.
little thing of like note like, oh, this is deep breathing now, and for sure you could hear like just little ding.
I think
I love that you flavored your not being able to stealth as just having a lot of bells on.
Yup,
It's just
it's
like
so
being real
good.
flashy.
That's the entire
love it.
Again, a temple cleric who worked in like with the lady for like they have heels. Centaur heels.
I think
Yes.
after
Centaur heels does not need to be any fucking taller, but still somehow is like
as you do. I think
They look
after
beautiful.
a few minutes after you hear not only the bells, but also just Astani's kind of relaxed breathing,
Mhm.
picking up on that. Sparky slowly forms out of the shadows. Poor thing is so dirty. Of Scooby-Doo sneaking all around the city. You can see it looks like he is favoring his front paw a little bit.
What happened?
Looks like probably he got caught on something. Not necessarily like he was spotted and attacked. It just looks
Yeah.
like he was, in his venture to be super sneaky, probably wound up in like running into like a gate or something like that, and just kind of he's fine, like he's putting weight on it, but you just see every now and then like doing the very dog thing of I'm gonna lick my paw, like just to make it better.
I tend to him,
Yeah.
obviously.
And he just kind of as soon as that happens, just is like baby dog is just like, oh,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
whining
I got
and-
Sakali like on my like perched on my shoulder and somehow just clinging while asleep, and then I got this giant dog head in my lap.
And she's like, oh, when you sent him away,
Mhm.
what were you thinking in terms of how you would get that information back from him?
Through the shift weave.
Okay. Why don't you make a shift weave check for me, please, as that's kind of happening.
Okay. Ooh, bitch, 18 on the die. I think it mine's a +4, 22.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. You see the perspective shift as the shadows kind of swirl in front of you. Rory, for you, it's just a mass of shadows. It doesn't really look like anything. But for Theodora, she gets peering through the shadows, this kind of first-person perspective of following Ferrero and his camaraderie that he had been with, slowly moving through the streets of Jorix, out through Erudite Quarter, through the gate. Doesn't seem to be saying anything. You see every now and then, and I can't do it because my hand's in the brace, but I can do it with this hand. Just kind of like the hand that had been shaking. He seems to
I was
kind
going
of
to ask
be,
if his hand's still shaking.
yeah, not shaking, but you see him just trying to like gain control.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like if you've strained your hand, just like, okay,
Yeah.
it's been strained.
Kind of like doing like a self-soothing thing almost, where he's trying to, yeah, okay.
Not even, doesn't bother to look back. You can see every now and then as Sparky is moving, he does dart his eye seemingly in the direction Sparky had been like a few seconds prior. But continues on his way up towards now we're at the Weaver's Wake, that pathway that you and Ty Neal had been on not even 24 hours before, not even 12 hours. Walking by, and you can see the remains of where the battle took place, and you see him kind of pause, and he looks to one of his guards who gets off their horse to kind of look around the vicinity for a couple of minutes. Seemingly satisfied, they continue onwards. They move up to the Cloud Top district. Still no words. Hennessy, every so often, he will hum to himself, kind of like he's in thought. Very much an autopilot, to the point that, like, every now and then those around him have to correct his horse, because his horse starts kind of veering off the path if there's kind of vegetation around and want to, like, munch on, like, the grass around.
Gotta free that horse for sure. Let that horse eat the grass, bitch.
And at this point, once past the Cloud Top district, just outside, and this is the closest you've seen of the castle, the bright keep, massive gate that separates the castle from the kingdom, truthfully, beyond just this massive, not mountain, but hill that you've just climbed as Sparky. You see guards stationed, you see the banners flying in the air, you see individuals milling in and out as some are heading home for the evening, others are coming in. It looks like there's presumably some kind of gala or party that's about to happen. But he detours off. Instead of going through the gates, there are several houses just outside of the keep, but still kind of attached to it. And he heads off towards one of these much larger, I say houses, it's a mansion.
Yeah. It's a fucking
honest.
guest. It's a whole guest house.
Yeah.
It has its own pool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest.
And you see him darting off towards this. It's facing towards, not the city, but towards the mountains behind the city and the forests. And Ferrero just says one word, like one phrase. She is an interesting one, isn't she?
Yep. He's saying that out loud to himself? Or seemingly to himself?
Yeah.
Ew.
Like,
fucking creep.
Trying to solve a problem that's just not making sense. And after a second, you can see what looks like a nightingale starts flying over, and he lifts his hand to kind of catch. I was wondering when you would send one of your birds to me. We have much to talk about.
This is that lady fuckhead. I don't remember her name. He did mention birds, so that's my assumption. That it's one of her birds.
And he kind of leans forward and touches the forehead of the bird. And there's like a pulse of magic before the bird flutters off again.
Okay.
And he disappears into his home.
Okay.
And Sparky, I think, brings you out of the vision as you kind of hear him very lightly growling that Sokali is on top of you.
Oh my God. Sparky.
Very lightly.
Sparky. Learn how to share. It's fine.
But you have Sparky back.
Okay. Then I will go to sleep and yeah. see what comes up in my dreams, I guess.
And as you enter stasis for Rory and find sleep, that is where we will end our session for today. Great job, y'all. Thank you so much, y'all. What an incredible session. The intrigue, the oh boy, there's just so much cooking and I'm so excited. But yeah, I have been
all that's in my mind is I'm gonna fucking chop that goblin.
Take a shot every time you say that.
All
I will
got
be
is
passed out,
Yep.
bitch.
I need 2 d20s.
You need us to roll 2 d20s?
Yep.
Oh. What could that be about?
You want one from each of us?
Mm-hmm. One for each of you. Except for the DM.
I figured.
Is a really good 4.
4 is excellent.
I got you a nat 20, bitch.
Let's go.
That portent is important.
Wonderful. And we will find out what that means, I'm sure. But thank you so much. Let's go around and say who you are, who you've been playing, and where we can find and support all the wonderful things you are doing. And we are going to start with Maz.
I am going to be... I can't remember. I'm catching cantrips on Tuesday. Yes. Hi, y'all. You can come see me there. That's our second campaign and pretty much the finish of my character from my first campaign, who is probably one of the last living members of the first power party, because they cannot die. They're kind of immortal in a way because of their lineage, but it is a Freerin inspired character, so it is really sad but awesome that I get to play her for a little bit longer. Other than that, I am always here on Twitch on Mozzarella or YouTube on Mozzarella, and we'll be here again for Ampistrano.
Woo! Thank you so much. And we'll pop on over to Sin.
Hi, my name is Sin, your resident sunflower person. Sinziak is the whole government name, but we'll get to that later. You can find me around on the Twitch universe whenever I finally decide to figure out how OBS works. You can find me on Black Sky, and you can also find me hanging out with the Major Linux crew on Thursdays, where I get to yell at the tech and gaming industry because they never run out of material for me to yell at. And of course, you can find me here being Rory the blacksmith, or Blackstone the person that was smithed by Rory, and someone that Deodora deeply misses.
That's true. And last but certainly not least, Fair.
Hi, I'm Fair, and I've been Deodora, who is absolutely going to chop that goblin's head off when she gets the chance. And carve that pompadour off his scalp and wear it as a wig. Just kidding. That's not gonna happen. You can follow me on socials at Fairbear, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, and here on Twitch, where I will probably, maybe, hopefully be returning to stream next month. As soon as life stops beating my ass in a Denny's parking lot,
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing.
You're laughing at what, Sin's?
No, Maz pinned what Sin said. The spoiler, she's not kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, Jordan's laughing at me, actually.
I am not.
No, you can also find me over on Dibbles and Dice's channel, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Philly by Night, The Monster Within, which is a Vampire the Masquerade campaign telling the story of some newly minted kindred who are trying to figure shit out and getting into trouble along the way. And yeah, I do other stuff and things that I will announce when it's available to you.
Wonderful.
Don't know what else to say.
And as mentioned, I have been your storyteller. I will be back here tomorrow doing some Dragon Age 2 and then streaming this week. So pop on by for shenanigans as usual. And then, of course, tune in on Saturday for a brand new episode of Ampistrano. Subscribe to our YouTube. We have new episodes coming out every Tuesday and Thursday. So you can catch up on all the things.
And if you haven't yet, you can do all of those things as a belated birthday present to Jordan.
Yep.
And as a upcoming birthday present to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Double birthdays happening. Come on. Give us subscriptions.
Yes,
and
please.
money. And
subscriptions.
Money. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say Kofi, ko-fi.com/D&D Jordan Lee, Kofi.com/Fairbear. Go do the things.
All the wonderful things, including Sin and Maz too. That allows
Money,
us to do a lot. Yeah, that allows us to do a lot of things. I'm working on revamping our Patreon a bit just because it has been quiet. It's been a minute since we've done a Q&A with the cast, so maybe it's about time we do another one of individual. And I'm currently trying to plan one for maybe the end of the season. So yes.
Plug the one shot.
Oh yeah. Didn't we have a goal? It's been so long. We had a goal of if we hit a certain amount of Patreon, but I'll also extend it into YouTube. We're almost at 300 subscribers on YouTube. If we hit that number, we will do an Oops All Familiars one shot. So I think we can do it. Truthfully. And we'll say for Patreon if we get to 5 patrons, which I think we can do. I think that's doable. Maybe. We can do that, which would be really, really great because that'll allow us to do some awesome things. We have some art that's in the work, y'all, so you'll actually be able to see like the world of Ampistrano and stuff too, because we have some amazing artists working on landscape things. So, and it'll also allow us to start doing like award festivals and stuff too. We have a lot of things that we want to do, but we need your help. I won't lie. So, yeah, if you can, great. Tell everybody about us. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to roll our credits. We're going to go raid someone awesome. Please feel free to use that raid call. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you so much. If you've been watching on Twitch, thank you so much for watching and hanging out. Thank you to our wonderful mod team as well. And we're going to get out of here. Bye-bye, y'all. Bye-bye.